either have to do it or you don't. You can't go halfway.
Unless that's all you got. And when I try to grow facial hair, Coach, that is pretty much what it looks like I'm doing. I'm going halfway.
No, I meant with the coloring of it.
Oh,
with the color of it. You either do it all or you don't do it.
No salt and pepper?
No.
Okay.
No. Somebody on Twitter yesterday said, "Hey, Coach, did Matt Kuchar lose a bet? His mustache is very ... interesting." Troy Merritt at 13.
Taking it right at it, flag hunting.
Now that's a great shot, Troy. Just inside the top 125. That, of course, makes it to the FedEx. All right, so this was our second featured group of the day. This is Matt Wallace. Second shot is 16.
And this is going to break pretty good right to left, coming off that pitch in from the rough at the last hole. Pretty well done. Leave himself a pretty quick one down the hill from 4 feet. But the Englishman, he followed Danny Willett over to Jacksonville State University a few years after Danny Willett played there, played 1 year in the States, won a couple of times as a freshman, and said, all right, let's go turn pro, and won 6 times on the Alps Tour, which is kind of the equivalent of the mini tours over here in the United States. Got himself the Challenge Tour, the European Tour, and now over on the U.S. Tour as well, balancing the schedule. Always a tough thing to do for those international players, I would imagine. I've always felt very fortunate being a U.S. player that I could just kind of focus on the United States and go and take a few extra trips occasionally. Got to go to Malaysia one time, Shanghai. Of course, we went to Canada and Mexico every year. Now, Daniel Berger, after that tee shot, can he get to 3 under? He can.
I promise you there are a lot of people out on this course right now. Just most of them are at the warm-up area and the first tee.
Following Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
Now this from 3 feet. Pitching at the last and then here, so that'd be pretty good. 2 missed greens and only 3 strokes total. Oh yeah, nice 3.
We're back, PGA Tour Live, featured hole coverage here on the final round. 13, Doc Redman for his birdie.
Little left or right. That's a place where you really are supposed to play that tee shot and give yourself a chance to make it with a putter.
Wow. So dropping a bomb is Redman, so he gets to -1 with 5 holes to play. And another look at our leaderboard, Charlie Hoffman. He shot over par the first day, then a 62 on Friday, and he is in a tie for 4th now as he plays the 7th hole. And look at Colin Morikawa having a day.
Wow, yeah, we had our featured groups yesterday, and he struggled kind of to close out his round with the putter and with the ball striking. Kind of weird, missed a bunch of fairways to the left, and can't keep him down for too long.
Morikawa losing in the playoff a year ago right here to Berger. Now Troy Merritt after that very aggressive tee shot here at 13.
Can he tie the skin? Yeah, let's carry that thing over.
So he moves to -4. He would be in the playoffs if it started today. 15 events, including this one, left before the FedEx Cup playoffs start in August. Now to 16 and been on. Very unusually poor year for him.
Yes, ball striking is usually his forte.
He doesn't like it.
Just,
yeah.
I mean, that's a huge miss. Just 183 yards. I mean, we're looking at 7-iron max to miss it that far to the right. And the wind a little bit helping and off the right. I'd say quartering, basically. This is another guy who strikes it so well, but outside top 125 at the moment. A dozen or so tournaments left to get themselves in that FedEx Cup playoffs.
That one finds the putting surface, but he'll have a lengthy one for birdie. And keeps here on PGA Tour Live. Mark Wilson, coach, Ben Hahn. Second shot after a very poor tee shot.
A lot of green to work with from over there. It is pretty quick going down the hill. I think part of the reason the guys are bailing over to the right, too, is you saw how quick that golf ball did slow down at the very end. It starts to slope back the other way off the other bunker. You miss it over to the left, it's going to be a really difficult up and down. Nick Taylor, two-time winner on the PGA Tour, kind of doing that thing with the touching his right arm with the left just to square himself up. We've seen Dustin Johnson do that. We've seen Joaquin Niemann do that recently. Tendency to just maybe get a little open for Nick Taylor on the putts. Nice little checkpoint. These guys are always calibrating before they go out and play. Practice sessions back at home.
All right, Warren Palmer, a member here at Colonial.
Oh, great shot.
Well, he didn't like it as much as the fans did.
Yeah.
Well, he fought, though, just to be here on the weekend is pretty good after that opening 74, no birdies. First time ever in tournament round at Colonial that he has not made a birdie in a round. So good to have him here, 3 under par. Yeah, right there, 32nd place. Get a couple more coming in, maybe a top 25 on the week.
All right, so Wyndham Clark having a quiet, good year. And how about the collar coordination with the hat and the shirt? Pink's an underrated color to wear. I love it. All right, now Ben Hahn, see if he can get up and down from the bunker.
That's from 6 feet. Solid.
All right, so he will remain at even par, but he's going to need some high finishes this summer. This is the image we see in about 5 hours from right now. Jordan Spieth going for his 2nd title here at Colonial. And in the process, I think it would be accurate to say it would complete the entire process of getting back to the top, because he would vault into the #1 spot in the race for the FedEx Cup. And if anybody would have any questions on whether or not he is fully back, he would answer that with a 2nd win on the year.
Just, it's been a tremendous year to watch him. And it started with a missed cut at the Farmers Insurance Open, too. And he was so frustrated at that point. He's like, I worked all winter long, all those weeks off, and I come out and miss the cut. And he was going to go back home and work on it. Said, you know what? I think I'm going to play Phoenix. I should go play Phoenix. And all of a sudden, he gets in the 54-hole lead. He doesn't win there, but that top 5 really propelled him to the next week, 54-hole leader. No, he didn't win, but then he won the Valero Texas Open, and just continued to build the blocks of confidence is what Jordan Spieth has done. And I've loved watching him ever since he came out in 2013. And matter of fact, I remember being in a meeting, PGA Tour Policy Board meeting, and he had played at the Byron Nelson as a 16-year-old. And the next week, we started talking about maybe adjusting the tee times a little bit, where we have the A, B, and C group. So the winners play together, and then the top 125 guys, and then everyone else. And that there was totally random. And at that point, they're like, maybe we can kind of move some of those guys around a little bit. And someone said, yeah, like it'd be cool to put like a Jordan Spieth in with Tiger Woods, and someone in the meeting goes, who's Jordan Spieth? They now know who he is.
They now know who he is. Wyndham Clark for birdie at 13. Boy, that's going to roll well past. Well, Drew Stoltz is caddying for Wyndham Clark, and he loves to wear unique socks. And 2 days ago, there was an Outcast sighting at Colonial.
That's some serious sock game, no question. And
now, that's today, and I'm not quite sure if he cut up some old ties.
Yeah, because he's got something tied on top on the left one and the right one.
Handkerchief. I think it's a handkerchief.
Handkerchief cut up. He's trying to start some sort of fashion trend. I don't know, but
I think he's ending a fashion trend.
Starting and ending in one motion. Well, catch his radio show. Him and Colton Oast have a lot of fun, and their podcast, Subpar Golf Podcast. I'm sure he'll talk about his experience this week alongside Wyndham Clark.
All right, so now you can see Ryan Palmer with a rules official there trying to explain that he cannot play the ball from there.
He's trying to get relief, and it's an abnormal condition. Obviously, the plastic part of this drain or sprinkler head is not in his way, but because of that, the abnormal ground condition, he will get relief from that. So just trying to find where the nearest point is. That's PGA Tour rules official Robbie Ware helping him out.
Will this be a drop or a place?
This will be a drop. So he's going to find the nearest point, and then he's got to go within one club length of that, no closer to the hole. So he's going to likely go up as close to the green as possible, and this could get kind of interesting if he drops it and then he's standing in the other one. But he's going to try to get as close there. So less Bermuda grass. It's have to wonder, is it going to bounce? And now at this point, he's taking relief from that one. If he's even standing on the other one, he can go ahead and play it without penalty because it's a completely separate situation. Looks like his right heel might not even be touching it anyways, and looks like Drew Stoltz maybe made some sort of comment at him. A little smirk. Like, oh, you're finally ready to go? Okay. Another one of the older guys, the 40-somethings. Giving me hope, Coach. Go out and practice.
Bro, I'm telling you, when you get to 50 in a couple of years and you hire me as your full-time caddy, we're going to make magic out there.
It will be legendary.
That's one word for it. Palmer, good speed there, so he'll have a tap-in par to remain at 3 under. And, you know, he certainly would have liked to have performed better this week in front of a lot of his friends and family. He plays this course all the time. He's a member. And he's in that video of Spieth back in 2016 when he chipped in the final round playing with Jordan.
And he finished third that year. He's had 3 top 5s, so he's had his time, and just make it to the weekend was a huge success for Ryan Palmer after that 74 on Thursday.
And now Wyndham Clark, after blowing his first putt past 7 feet, he has this for the comeback par.
So, of course, he would have seen it going by. Very confident stroke. A little shake of the head, but okay. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, that was well done. So they will head to the par 4 14th. 5 holes left to play in their tournament.
Zach, just such a nice guy. Just talking to his caddy. You like it? You sure you like it? But you want that confirmation from your caddy. And I want a caddy who's going to tell me if he doesn't like it. Aggressive.
Oh, that was really aggressive. Did you give your caddy veto? Like 1 veto a year like Phil did with Bones?
Not that. It was more just like we had a process on every single shot, and we were going to talk it through. And there were times when I was open to anything, and there were also times when I was just like, I will call you in if I have a question. You know, and I told him at the beginning of the round my expectations for him. I hated just caddies, I'm sure, do not like it when the player just goes about his business and doesn't tell the caddy what he expects of them. I think that's very unfair. So I was always upfront with my caddy saying, hey, I want you to do this today. I want you to read every putt, or I don't want you to read any putts. That kind of thing to go into the day to make sure that he knows what I expect of him.
Abraham Answer here at 13. I want to be clear, Mark. When I caddy for you, I will read the putts, and we will negotiate the number of vetoes I have a year.
I haven't played golf with you. That good of a putter or a good green reader? I don't care if you can putt. But
my ego won't allow me not to do it. Does not have in the FedEx Cup playoff race. He's at -4 currently. How was your break, Steve-O?
It was productive.
Took a nap?
No, that'll be later. But no, the
Boy, that
ball. Hopefully that ball didn't plug in the top of the bunker right there. He is not super happy, to say the least. Blow off the steam. The thing is, though, the key is everybody gets angry, but you have to not let it. Once he crosses that cart path right there,
yep.
It's got to go away. Get angry. Here's your angry box over here, and then.
Is that the same for amateurs too?
Oh, well, it should be. Honestly, it should be. You have to. You've got to compartmentalize the bad ones. Keep it over here, and then move about your business. Don't let it compound itself on the next shot.
Gary Woodland, former U.S. Open champion, starting to get his game together the last few weeks. He is currently at -5, playing 16.
Piecing together a nice round today. Squeeze a couple more out of this round.
You can really tell, Steve, that he's got his swing dialed back in. He was pretty wild in February and March.
Yeah, I had Pete Cowan out. I watched him play a few holes in a practice round at the Players Championship. He plays a lot of practice rounds with Matt Kuchar, who's a great ball striker. They toss around ideas and ways to get it done out here.
Okay, let's go back to 13 and Abraham Answer for his birdie. That's nice. Oh, wow. That looks really good.
A lot of hook on it there.
Answer, you can see how great of a year he has had. No victories, but yet he's top 20 in the FedEx Cup. That means a bunch of high finishes.
Yeah, very consistent performer here. For sure, you'd think this would have been a great opportunity for him to challenge for a victory here. But not to be this week for the victory, but Zach Johnson here. This is kind of where you want to putt from, even though it's hard to get it between the hole location and that penalty area on the right now. This is exactly where you want to putt from, up the hill, a little right to left here, just outside of 13 feet. Yep, that's kind of where you want to putt from. He's made a career doing that right there.
Well, when you have all those wins, you got a couple of majors, you can afford to go straight at the pin on 13 on Sunday when you're 13 back. Okay, now Answer to clean up his par.
Stay still. These are fairly automatic for these players. You know, as good as these green surfaces are on the PGA Tour and here at Colonial Country Club, you have to do something drastic to miss those little guys there.
All right. So it looks like Lashley listened to you. Calm down. Now he's up there assessing his shot. You can see the wind starting to pick up from his shirt. And that really adds to the defense of this course. And now Lashley from the bunker, and he's got a lot of green to navigate.
You know, this is actually not as hard of a shot as it looks because the green will funnel down into that low area where the hole location is. So you can kind of just get a little fat runner out of here, really. Just let it Don't need to spin it or get too fancy with it. You kind of just let gravity do its thing, and just never played that high enough. The distance was perfect, but well, it's trickling on by there. So he's still mad about the tee shot right there. You can see it in his face.
Yes, he is. All right, this tall, lanky player is Robbie Shelton. And not having the week that he would have liked, but that's a good shot.
Over there where we just saw Zach bury it in from.
He is playing with another Robbie, Robert Streb. Streb's having a sneaky good year also.
Yeah, he's one of the players, one of the few players out here who plays without a glove. I don't know how you do it. His hands must be dry as a bone because it is not easy to do that.
I was saying kind of the same thing about Lucas Glover yesterday.
Glover, you think a guy named Glover should wear a glove, but
you would think.
Go figure, right? But that's pretty good for Robert Streb there. Very upright nature of his golf swing.
Boy, he looks excited about that shot. Let's go back to 16, and that's Gary Woodland.
All right, let's see if he can get this thing to 6 under par. A little right to left on this effort here for the 2019 U.S. Open champion, and that just
wow.
Had a power outage.
So he's laughing for us.
Power outage for Gary Woodland there.
It is hard to leave a putt of that length 4 feet short.
Max that he can play. As Gary Woodland, okay, cleans that one up.